Hey, everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the big rushing around
My microphone was way over there.
Family Homestead. Hey, now go ahead and type in to refresh. Type it in the chat.
Why should I type it in the chat?
Because the people are hearing it at a delay.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. So here's the scoop, guys. We have been wrestling with the internet pretty much all day long. And so it's been on and off, and then it finally, just last second, I think we've got it fixed. Christa was in there resetting the router, and I was doing my clicky click, and it looks like it's ready. So if you refresh your page, I know there's a big delay right now because of the time that it was on, off, buffering, not buffering. Yeah, so if you refresh your page, it should bring you right up back to speed.
Yeah.
So that said, good evening, everybody. How you doing?
I'm good now.
You're good now?
I'm good now. It was a little chaotic outside.
Yeah. So. Well, we'll explain what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But now I'm just listening to the sweet sounds of Frozen downstairs.
It's because I didn't shut the door. Sorry.
Hold on. I was just yelling for Ruth to come shut the door.
Yeah, in my ear.
Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. They're down there watching Disney, and it's not that I care about Disney that are watching that, but it'll get a copyright flag.
I don't know if it would hear it.
Oh, yes. The software hears it. So here's what's happening. Last night, we got shut down because of a storm.
Yeah.
And we figured we're going to come and give you the rest of the good news. Mm-hmm. All the good news that you paid for, you're going to get double what you paid for.
No.
Which is... still waiting on those checks. Anyway.
There's that.
So we're going to give it a go tonight, but...
give her a go.
Give her a go. But before we do, I do want to say that we are sending prayers and love out to the people of Nova Scotia. We're with you guys. We know what it's like to live through hurricanes because we used to live in Florida. And we have literally had hurricanes go. We had one directly over our house.
The eye of the hurricane went over our house. It was so eerie.
It was very strange. Everything got green.
Yeah, it was really
outside.
Very quiet, and
it was like nothing eerie. But like a really nasty thunderstorm, and then
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made your ears pop.
We're also praying for those. It's our son, David.
He's telling us he made the best tasting pork of his life.
Oh, that's good. He's actually a pretty good cook.
Yeah.
We are also praying for those with
brace for impact.
Hurricane Ian. Oof.
In Florida.
Yeah. They haven't. Tampa Bay has not gotten hit by a hurricane directly in 100 years. 101 years, actually. It was 1921, the last hurricane. It was unnamed storm, and...
which one?
It was unnamed. I was like, wait, did you not hear me?
I was doing what you were doing to me last
yesterday.
night.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're praying for those that are there. Because we have family there. We have family in the Bradenton, Sarasota area and Orlando. So we,
yeah, even if we didn't know anybody down there, we'd still be praying for you.
Of course.
But the truth is that if you feel like you need to get out, don't wait.
No.
Because the roads, you know how it is. There's only two main highways out of Florida. And when it's too late, guess what? They're going to be choked. And then you're going to end up being sitting in a traffic jam trying to get out of Florida while there's a hurricane bearing down on you.
Right. So if you have the opportunity to go now.
Just go.
Yeah. It's the storm surge is what's really for the coastal area. The storm surge. I mean, there's so many homes that are so close to the ocean that 10 feet and the house is halfway underwater. So it's
yeah. Well,
yowza.
So here's the deal. We're giving you the truncated version of the Sunday Night Live experience.
Yep.
So we're going to get straight to, boom, the good news stories, guys. That's right. Because why? Oh, see, the calculator's still up from last night. because
we
good
did that
news
one
doesn't
already.
wait for Sunday. No, we get good news
waits for no man.
year round, every
woman.
day, in season and out of season.
Mm-hmm.
So we got another good story. Krista, what you got there for us?
Well, let's meet the South African animal expert who has been best friends with a 550-pound lion.
Boom.
Named George.
That's a
Is he
big.
George of the jungle?
That's a big kitty.
He's a very big kitty.
Big
For
kitty.
over 10 years. The pair first met when George was born at the Lion and Safari Park in Gauteng, South Africa. I'm not saying that right, I'm sure.
Just go with it.
Yeah. Where Shandor Laurenti works as the head of animal husbandry. Since then, Shandor has groomed the big cat and played with him every day, and the pair can often be seen cuddling together in an extraordinary way. The 10-year-old lion has developed from a tiny cub to the head of his own pride, but he always makes time for Shandor. It's like watching a child grow up, said the 27-year-old animal lover. It's exactly the same feeling. Is it?
No.
I don't think so.
You can really, really, really love
Really,
animals because we
yeah.
really love animals, but it is not the same thing as
not the
loving
same.
a child.
No, it's not the same.
No disrespect to animal
No,
lovers.
sorry, Shandor.
Shandor?
I don't agree.
Not the same level, bro.
No. And George chooses to spend time with Shandor as much as the other way around. George is similar to me in the sense that while he's social, he also likes to be alone a lot. It's amazing to see that when I arrive, he'll leave the rest of the pride and walk over. Shandor says that lions have good days and bad days, just like us. If I go in there and he doesn't come running up, then I know it's not going to happen. One time, Shandor was with George's son, who's part of the pride. Lions have 2 growls. On that day, the growl was not really happy. And he just walked up to me and growled like that, and out of the blue, he came running at me. From the left side came George's lioness, who grabbed him, and from the right side, George came running and knocked me to the side and grabbed his offspring. Gave me time to get away. Wow.
Moral of the story,
Don't play with lions.
probably not a good idea to have a 550-pound lion in your yard.
No, not at all.
I'll tell you what.
Gonna pass.
I forget what movie that was. We saw a while back. It was about lions in Africa, and they were hunting people, and it was scary.
Oof.
I forget. It might have been. We might have seen it on a tour bus while we were driving around with the band, but
Maybe I don't.
it was scary. I didn't like it
Yeah.
at all. Didn't like it at all.
Yuck.
So, next awesome story. Here we go. Okay, this one is really, really. You got to hang to the end on this because it's pretty awesome, guys. All right, here we go. Ka, as in C-A, Ka, was among the best flyers that the Americans had in World War I. Ka could perform evasive maneuvers and divisionary acrobatics that would baffle the Red Baron. But on October 4th, 1918, Ka was shot down twice the same day on the same mission. And at first, his trouble was only beginning. What got him into this fix, the first place, was, well, that's the whole story. Toward the end of September 1918, in the French Argonne Forest, American troops of the 77th Division engaged the army of the Kaiser. And that battle raged on and off for 4 days. By early October, American rations and medical supplies were almost gone. Casualties were heavy. Before long, the Germans would have completely have them surrounded. We need reinforcements fast, American commanding officer Major Charles W. Whittlesey demanded. And on October 4th, he got just what he'd asked for, sort of. For the U.S. Army intelligence had misjudged the location of Major Whittlesey's men. Now, the American 77th Division, in addition to being engulfed by the Germans, found themselves being bombarded by American artillery as well. Major Whittlesey was desperate now. There was neither much of an airstrip nor of an air force behind his own shattered lands. Only 6 flyers, in fact. But that Air Corps was the Americans' only chance to get this frantic message to headquarters in Rampont, 25 miles distant. We're along the road parallel 276.4, heaven's sake. Stop it. The first American flyer took off with that official communique and was promptly shot down by the Germans, as was the second courier and the third and the fourth and the fifth. That left just one flyer. One flyer, an already celebrated World War I ace nicknamed Ka. And before today, you may never have heard of him, but from now on, you will never forget him. You are our last hope, Major Whittlesey said. He took off in the grim gray sky, struggling to reach an altitude beyond the range of German artillery. And yet within minutes, the enemy and the aircraft bullets had raked one of his wings. Down he went, barely pulling out in time to land in one piece. There was not much room in the rugged field for him to take off again, but incredibly he took off again, only to be riddled by a second volley of enemy fire. Well, Ka pulled out of the tailspin seconds before crashing, but this time he had seriously malfunctioning control surfaces, had a chest wound and a shattered leg, and had been blinded in one eye, and still somehow reached Rampont, landed safely, and delivered the vital message that led to the eventual rescue of the 77th Division. And for his valor, Ka was awarded the United States Distinguished Service Medal at French Croix de Guerre, and when his wounds had healed, he was reassigned stateside to a signal corps in Washington, D.C., and when he died a year later, he was stuffed and installed in the aeronautics display at the Smithsonian. Or have you guessed that the celebrated American flyer was no aviator, the hero of the Argonne, whose mission impossible you have just relived? You may have visited where he sits on display to this day, Ka, whose full name is Cher Ami, which means dear friend, a one-eyed, one-legged, stout-hearted carrier pigeon. Carrier pigeon. A carrier pigeon.
That's great. That is
Isn't
so
that awesome?
funny. Ew, gross. Yeah.
Ew, gross.
Okay, hold on, though.
They didn't stuff
She
the
hasn't
dude.
heard it yet.
Yeah, it's on a delay.
It's on a delay. It's not a human. It's a bird.
Just wait.
Just wait. You'll see.
Now we got to wait and watch
Right.
the
Hazel's
comments.
like,
Everybody's like, what?
you got me. Yep.
But it is
Too
amazing
funny.
how much that bird went through and kept going.
Yeah, determined little critter.
Ka. Oh, that's the movie, The Ghost in the Darkness. That's right, Meg. That movie scared me, man. I didn't like it. It was about
I don't remember that one.
lions hunting people.
I'll pass.
A pigeon. Oh, then that's fine. They're not stuffing people.
No.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's great. All right.
All right. One more story.
We only have one more story, and then maybe we'll take questions for a little while.
Yeah, we'll just chat.
Shoot the breeze,
breeze.
chew the fat.
Ew, gross. No thanks.
I don't know why they say that.
Okay, this story, actually, I literally laughed out loud. For one reason alone, shy little Carlos regretted his family's moving to the tiny town of Miami, Arizona. That reason was the kid next door. The boy's name was Bobby. He was a full-blooded Native American, same age as Carlos, same grammar school class, but a lot bigger. But apparently, nope, reading the wrong line. Now, Carlos, he himself half Irish, half Cherokee. But apparently that wasn't good enough for Bobby, so every day after school he would chase Carlos home. Most days he would catch him and beat him up.
Don't worry.
Not okay.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Right. Right next door to the cottages where Carlos and Bobby lived was a gas station. The owner's name was Jack, and every day Jack would stand there and he'd watch this sad little scenario reoccur. The bully chasing the smaller boy and then catching him and then pounding him day after day. Why did he wait so long? That's what I want to know. Jack may have known that Carlos's father was an alcoholic, was mostly obvious to his son's problems. But one day Jack decided it was time to butt in, so he went to Carlos's mother and he told her, "Please stay in the house today and do not interfere," and she agreed. Sure enough, right on schedule, little Carlos came running past the gas station toward his house. Bobby, the bully, was not yet in sight, but Jack, the gas station man, stopped Carlos and he said, "I'd like to have a word with you." Politely but urgently, the little boy explained that he must not stop now. He had to go inside right away because Bobby was chasing him and he would be here any minute. Jack said, "You're not going anywhere. You're going to stand up for yourself and fight this boy right now." But Bobby was too big, Carlos pleaded. Jack wouldn't listen. He said, "You're not going to run away anymore." The more he encouraged Carlos, the braver the little boy became. So brave that when Bobby the bully arrived, Carlos actually jumped him and wrestled the bully to the ground. It was but a brief tussle, at the conclusion of which Bobby, the bully, cried, I give. As Jack, the service station man, had known in his heart from the start, Bobby would never chase Carlos again. In fact, perhaps predictably, they became friends. Now I know this sounds like one of the many mountainous molehills of which childhood is comprised. An insignificant episode in the life of a couple of greater stories, but for Carlos, it was ultimately significant and even more. The time he turned around and stood his ground, made him whatever he was to be forever. For you would never have heard of that little boy who let a bully get the best of him, were it not for the man he became. World middleweight karate champion from 1968 to 1974, the star of such movie box office knockouts as A Force of One, Delta Force, A Code of Silence. Now, whenever you hear his name, you will picture a scared little boy trying to outrun a bully and a concerned stranger who put an end to the running of Carlos Ray Norris, whom the world has come to respect as Chuck Norris.
Yes. Isn't that great? Wow.
I laughed out loud when I read this story. He was beat up as a little kid.
Well, I don't like to hear that anybody's getting beat up at all.
No, of course
not.
not.
But you do want somebody to stand their ground.
Of course I do.
Because bullies don't stop.
No, they'll keep bullying. Not just him, but other kids too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Walker, Texas Ranger. Here are my two sons, Walker and Texas Ranger.
Good Lord.
So,
oh, my.
So I took the liberty of printing out some little-known facts about Chuck Norris.
You guys have a Chuck Norris. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do have a Chuck Norris. Here's one. Chuck Norris does not. A lot of people don't know this, so I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Chuck Norris does not breathe. He holds air hostage. Chuck Norris didn't cheat death. He won fairly and squarely.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that when Chuck Norris went to Burger King, he ordered a Big Mac and they made it for him perfectly?
At Burger King. Guys, get that?
You got it.
That?
You got it. Mm-hmm. This one's tragic. This one is truly tragic. Chuck Norris' tears can cure cancer. It's a pity that he has never cried, ever.
It is a pity.
You know, ghosts tell Chuck Norris stories at the campfire.
That's funny. That is really funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You know, this one's probably, well, tell your favorite one because it's both of our favorite one.
Oh, yeah, no. Chuck Norris doesn't sleep. He waits.
He waits. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When police officers approach Chuck Norris, they say, "We have the right to remain silent." There you go.
Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple more. Chuck Norris makes onions cry. Last one, Mom.
All right. Chuck Norris has a diary. It's called the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh my gosh. You know that okay, the funny thing about
Spice
this,
of his tacos.
there are hundreds of these things and
yeah.
they circulate the internet from time to time. I actually saw these Chuck Norris facts 10 years ago.
Oh, easy.
And they resurface every once in a while. And I saw an interview with him and they were reading some of these to him like 10 years ago. He was just dying. He's like, what are you talking? I can only imagine it had to be like some college kids getting together, probably chemically altered.
Oh, yeah, gotta be.
Coming up with, some facts about Chuck Norris, and it just took off. They probably put him on online, and
Yeah.
and it just went.
Too
and then
funny.
so when Chuck Norris actually heard about these things, he was dying laughing. He's like, why are they doing this? It didn't. He goes, it's really funny, but I just don't understand.
He's got a cult following. I mean, seriously, it's
Yeah, but
he's got to, got to keep his I don't know.
Did you guys?
reputation.
Have you guys ever heard these Chuck Norris jokes before?
Okay, Barry over at Empty Hammock. Ow, I just bit my lip again. How many push-ups can Chuck Norris do? All of them.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's one
Love
that I
it.
will definitely remember.
Yeah.
That one's awesome. So, we're not going to do a whole show tonight because we honestly did all of our prepared stuff yesterday.
Okay, another one. You know those earthquakes are actually Chuck Norris doing push-ups, right?
Nice. Okay. Love if you
it.
got a good one. I'm showing my age, but those jokes were around in the 80s.
80s.
Were they
I had
really?
a feeling they were out longer than
Like
that.
I said, they resurface every so often, and maybe the first time I heard them was, 10 years
kids?
ago.
Chuck Norris doesn't catch cancer. Cancer catches Chuck Norris.
And you know what? A lot of these jokes, too, are just rehashed. They just slap in Chuck Norris or a different kind of
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions for us tonight? Because we got a couple minutes. We're not going to spend, hours. But I'll read a Chuck Norris fact while we're waiting. Chuck Norris was exposed to the Rona. The Rona had to go into quarantine for a month. Gotcha.
That's funny. Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, questions? Anybody? Tina G says, I dated a guy that looked like Chuck. Really?
Funny. Well, Jess said that when he was a little bit younger, her stepdad looked like Chuck Norris. Maybe he was Chuck Norris.
Gotcha. Anybody? We'll wait a little bit, but then if no one is interested in playing, we'll have to take our ball and bat and go home.
We are home. Well,
We'll have to go get the ball and bat then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is going to be cold tonight. 30s.
34 is what I heard.
30s. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On September 26th.
I know. So, 5, 10, 7, 3, 2, 4.
They say that monsters are afraid of Chuck Norris being under their bed.
It's true.
That's funny.
What are you making for lunch live on Friday? I don't know. That's a good question.
Friday is not happening this Friday.
Yeah?
How many guitars do you own? 30.
No. Let's see.
And the one downstairs.
It's not downstairs. The correct answer for how many guitars I own is Christa's answer is too many.
It's a lot.
13.
It's 30. Oh, jeez.
Well, that's an unlucky number, except I don't believe in luck. So we better get another one.
Or sell one.
Did you say something?
Apparently not. No, Jess, we don't have any special trips coming up. Not at all.
No, we don't.
No.
In all seriousness, no, though,
Don't.
no, for the guitar thing.
Oh.
People, you guys got to understand, I've been playing guitar since I was 12, and I've been in professional bands.
So like 10 years?
Yeah, something like that. I've been in professional bands and recording studios and owned recording studios and production facilities, and these things, they gather up. Sometimes you sell them, sometimes you just get rid of them. But there are only two in here that I have had that I will most likely take to my grave and then give to one of the boys. Or, you know,
They're already talking about fighting over it, like literally fighting over it. Yeah, the white guitar.
Yeah. Well, there's a story behind this guitar. Is it too much to grab it or no? Do you think?
Yes, it's too much to grab it. You can grab it, but I cannot.
I can't get out. We're kind of in here smashed in. What you guys don't see is there's another rack of keyboards
and there's
right
another
here.
rack over here, and so we're kind of.
It's kind of like a Star Trek like console, like you're flying a spaceship thing. But there's a story behind this white guitar, and it's if you wanted to Google it, you could Google what it is. It's called a Yamaha. Believe it or not,
they can internet search it.
You can interweb search it.
Yes.
It's a Yamaha, believe it or not. They actually made really, really high-end guitars at one time. Because I've got, you know, Fenders and all that kind of stuff, Charvels and whatever. But this guitar is a Yamaha AES 1500. It's what they call a jazz box. So it's a hollow body, but it's got hot rodded pickups in it, and it's pearl white, and it's just gorgeous. But the way I got this guitar is really funny. I've told the story before, but it's probably a good 3-4 minute story. So when I was in high school, I worked in a music store in Florida, and the manager of the store happened to have a little bit of a problem. And that little problem was depleting all of the gear that was in the store, because we were doing our jobs as the salespeople and we were selling stuff, but he wasn't taking any of that money and reinvesting it into new gear. He wasn't putting it back so that we could sell more stuff and he could grow the business.
No, he's putting up his nose.
That's exactly what was happening. It fit. He fit an entire music store right up his nose. But I'm not going to name his name, and I'm not going to name the name of the store. But because he had such a problem, he needed money, cash, every day. So every day he'd come in and hit that no sale button on the register and take all the 20s and be like, "See you guys, have a great day." And no gear would come back.
No.
Well, the problem was he didn't have money on Sundays because we weren't open on Sundays. So he's like, "Tell you what, this guitar came in. It came in and he made a deal somehow. And I don't even know if he paid for it. I don't know. It was not my deal. He made the deal. I don't know." So I'm drooling over this guitar because this is like pre-2000. And it had to be a lot earlier than that. But it's at this point in life, it was $2,400 guitar, which I would never be able to afford. And I knew it. No way. But he goes, "Brad, I see you watching this guitar pretty close and you really like it." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh gosh, Steve, I could never, ever afford something like that." And he goes, "I'll tell you what, why don't you work Sundays for me for a while? And I'll give you that guitar in exchange for your labor on Sundays." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
For 4 Sundays.
That's all he made me work. 4 Sundays. Because he was so out of it, druggy. Didn't know. But then there's more to that story. So my dad's a musician too, an excellent musician, has always been an amazing singer, a great communicator. and he's had hits before the next teardrop falls.
Sweet apple wine.
Sweet apple wine, and he's amazing. Well, the thing is that whenever we would have like good times or bad times, we had this deal between us that we would sell the guitar to each other. And like if I needed $500, he'd be like, "Oh, sure, I'll give you $500." And he'd have the guitar for like a year or two, and then I'd have the guitar. It would go back and forth like that. And the only agreement was that it never, ever, ever went away.
Left the family. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Well, it gets even better. So
it's been 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just got the guitar back last winter. And Christa had told our UPS driver, who was a nice young Christian guy, about this guitar and how much it meant to me. And he was so cool that he rerouted his entire day of packages so that my guitar would get there first thing in the morning so it wouldn't sit in the bitter cold
all day long.
All day long. And it even goes further than that, guys. He's like, he finds out who I am, and he finds out who I am. And he says, "You know what? My church is looking for a worship pastor. You should come and do that." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to listen."
Yeah, no.
So I grumbled, but he didn't let it go because the UPS kid was so cool. He was so cool and such a good guy. And we're way out in the rural lands. They literally make those guys eat in their trucks, their lunch. So I was like, "Why don't you come and eat in the house?
Yeah, come eat
here.
Yeah.
And we got to be buds, and it was great. And we first thing is like, here's a soda, here's some stuff. Okay, come sit down.
Snacks, We'd add to his lunch.
Yeah. and he kept harping on it. He's like, you need to come look at my church. And I was like, "Well, I'll talk to your pastor." And I expected it to be wacky. And I was like, because then I figured I'd have an out. Like, well, the pastor's a goober, so their theology's bad. I no thanks. I just thought I would, but then I was like, check. Well, that's not weird. Check. Well, that's pretty nice. And then he said, "Well, you got to talk to him on the phone." And I was like, "Okay, sweet," because then I'll have an out. No problem. And I talked to the guy on the phone, and we talked for over an hour. And I kept waiting for a reason to hang up the phone and be like, "Yeah, I got to go."
Yeah. No, couldn't find it.
Solid. We went there, and solid church. I started interviewing with them thinking, there's no way. I don't want to do this. We don't want to move up there.
Yeah.
And so I kept looking for an out, and there really wasn't one.
Yeah, we had just moved here, and in this other place, it's a very touristy area, and the prices of property are triple what they were here. We're like, no way.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Anyway, it went and went and went, and I literally was interviewing with them.
Yeah.
And at the second interview where they were going to offer me the job, I had really done a lot of praying and really talked to our pastor at our church that we're going to. And he said something that, man, it just was a splinter in my head. He just said, "You know what? Just because you can do a thing and you're good at a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing." And then I was like, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah.
I didn't have peace about it, but I was doing it because I'm good at it. And I felt like, well, all the boxes are getting checked off. All the boxes are getting checked off. All the boxes are getting checked off.
Yeah.
And I kept moving ahead thinking I was doing the noble and right thing, when in reality I was just doing it because I'm good at it.
Well, and something else our pastor had said was that, Satan can draw you into
what looks like the right situation. Yeah.
God calling you into something. What looks like, but it's actually pulling you away from what you're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And that's exactly what we made. We made the decision, and I had to go into the meeting with all of their deacons, and they were sitting there, and that was when they were going to offer me the job. And it was one of those things where it was like, "Guys, look, okay, here's the scoop. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not the right guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the right guy, but I'm not." And then I told them what was going on. But isn't it funny that guitar was been the
That's
glue
right.
that moved through all of this stuff.
Yep.
It started with a guy's problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I've had that guitar through all of our ministry, all through all the recordings and all of the songwriting, all of the different psalms and all those kind of things. Hey, you didn't do your commercial.
What commercial?
I don't know what commercial.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's Jess's fault. We didn't go. She said she prayed God wouldn't let you leave.
Ha!
Because they don't live too far from here.
And we like them.
So, yeah.
So, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I know that was big rabbit trail, but
I know there
it's
was
a cool story.
Was it Martha asking about property for, with house and land for a family of 4? Like, about how much would it cost around up here? Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, most of the houses around here are smaller because they're farm homes. And that sounds funny because a lot of the farm homes around here, they had loads and loads of kids. Well, the houses are small just for the simple reason of heating the home in the winter.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to put a fireplace in the middle and have it heat the entire home in this area. So now if you're saying a family of 4, are you talking 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms? Because I hope it's not 4 bedrooms or else you're not hanging out with your spouse.
Well, for a family of 4, I would think, a 3-bedroom would be fine.
On how many acres?
She didn't say. She just said land. It's just...
Acreage around here is about $2,000 an acre.
It depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at farmland versus wooded land.
Wooded land's cheaper.
Is it? I don't think it is,
Yes,
though,
it
up
is.
here. I know it's higher in taxes.
Tillable land's more.
Yeah, that's true. But wooded property is higher in taxes because it's hunting land. It's not agricultural.
Yeah. So it's about
2 or 3 acres.
About 2. Okay, so it's about $2,000 an acre. And then if you're wanting, say, a 1,500 square foot home on it,
it all depends on the condition of the home, honestly.
I'd say around 65,000.
Probably, yeah. Probably between that
Something
and
that's
70
not a dump.
and 100, 65
Something
and
that's
100,000.
not a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. Yeah, and that's that. With that caveat, that's getting away from a main town, and by a main town, I'm saying anything with a Walmart.
Yeah.
Because we live 24 miles away from a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phoebe, 10 acres around here is easily a million. Oh
That's
my gosh,
insane.
no way.
It's insane.
No way.
So Debbie's asking if it's the white guitar behind us. It's not. That is
it's in a case that's over there, or else I'd grab it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
65.
on
It's about
Realtor.com or Realtor. They have loads of places up there.
Look in a town called, what is that one that's west of Medford?
There's Gilman.
Because that would be considered a small town.
Gilman is a nice area.
Or even Rib Lake, or what would be to...
The South Stratford,
Stetsonville,
Abbotsford. Those are all nice areas.
See, but Abbotsford's more farmy, where there's not as much woods.
Right, yeah.
Gilman,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ladysmith is another very nice area.
But that's a little more money. That's more
that is a
money.
little bit
You're
more
getting
money.
closer to Rice Lake.
Yeah. But anything, I wouldn't say anything, but a lot of places north of Highway 29, when 29 runs east and west, I wouldn't go too much farther north than Highway 8, just because it's really cold. It gets really cold. But there's a lot of nice places in like Park Falls.
It depends if you're used to the
it depends on if you're used to
weather.
the cold. I think she said something about they were coming from New Jersey, moving from New Jersey.
Oh, here's okay.
Yeah.
We got a question when we're done with
Yes.
that one. Okay, so I think that answers that.
Yes.
Okay, so Christa, what are you up to in your spare time?
What's
no,
that?
You just spent an
No,
hour and
I
a
did.
half doing spare time.
I'm learning to ride a horse. We bought Selah not 3 weeks ago today, and she has it 3 weeks? September 5th. Is that 3 weeks or 4 weeks? I think that's 3 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, she's been an absolute joy, and I've been learning so much. Hope is teaching me, and I've taken one riding lesson, and I'll take another one this week, and it's been great. It's really been great. So
yeah. Dan Schneider, who lives in central Wisconsin, also, he's saying small farms are on the way out. Unfortunately, he's right. So you might find a farmhouse without the land.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. I mean, you could probably find a farmhouse on an acre or two, but
And
yeah.
they're super cheap because the farmers don't want it. They just
don't
wanted
want the
the
house.
land. They
Right.
just wanted the tillable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could live down below the frost line, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we live up here for many, many reasons. Oh, I didn't know you had been asking. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. There was another question I thought. Oh, well, okay, they keep asking for the commercial.
Oh, the commercial?
The commercial.
Okay. Well, here you go. Since you're asking for it, we'll give
Yeah.
it to you. Mark it, set, go.
There's the commercial.
There's the
right there.
commercial.
You see it?
Tell them.
All right. September. Sorry.
Thrive Life.
Thrive Life freeze-dried food has a coupon going on right now that if you have a delivery or just an eligible for an order, one-time order or a delivery, you get $10 off if you spend $60 or more. And there's a coupon code. It's SEPT10, SEPT 10, all caps, no spaces. And again, it's $10 off now through September 30th. So it's the rest of this month or rest of this week. One use per customer. And there's some really good deals right now.
Yeah, we probably don't need to tell you that there's weird stuff going on in the world.
No. There's, yeah.
And you know what?
All of you
Food
know.
that stays good on the shelf for 25 years is probably a good thing to have in your house,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
So here, back to the main screen. Commercial over. There you go. Insane.
There it
Profit
is.
time out.
Yep.
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 So I think we're gonna go because you know what? I want to talk to some family members who live in Florida.
Yeah. We need to go and we need to check up on them and see what's
Make
going
sure
on.
they got a good solid plan.
Yep.
So
Yep.
hey, if you do not currently go to a Bible devotion, I do one on Big Family Devotions channel, which you're going to see here on the end screen real soon. And it's 8:30 Central Time, and we are in the book of 1 Thessalonians. We just started today.
Yep.
So 8:30 Central, come on over. We don't beg for money. We don't do any of that stuff. It's just we read, we unpack, we pray for each other.
Yep.
And it's good. So thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, you guys have an awesome and blessed night, okay?
Good night.
See ya.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding? Raise her voice on the heights beside the way. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than they gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear